You starting it?
Yep. Okay, well, actually, we just gotta...
Voices.
We can rewind, right? And tape over?
Let's start it all over, and then I won't say anything.
How do we rewind?
I don't think you can rewind.
Here we go.
Can you rewind? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
rewind it all the way.
Rec review, push auto.
I don't know
We're losing our son.
Okay, this is Sweeto's house, first place where I remember playing with the Sweeto. Central Elementary is just down the road, about 6 blocks from here. My first memories of the Swede took place in this house. The Sweeto had a pretty crummy gym set in the backyard. We did a lot of crazy things from that. I guess the first one of the major memories is when Sweeto had a really nice railroad set, and his father had bought it for him. It was one of those HO railroad sets, really nice replica, kind of thing that you would just set up maybe one time and then put it in a case. Well, Sweeto got out all the cars and all the train sets, really nice replicas, and just crashed them in. This is where Randy Heiliger beat up the Swede. The Swede and I were in a preschool program in this building, which is now Martin Hall at the campus of Kearney State College. We were in a little program there. We had to make something out of clay, some kind of Lego kind of thing, and we took about 2 hours making that, and then they let us go. It must have been about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, about this time of day. Swede and I came out, and we got to about right here, and we encountered Randy Heiliger. And I don't know what happened exactly. Randy Heiliger was about 4 maybe, and the Swede was probably a little more than 4. And somehow they exchanged words, and well, there was a fight. There was a fight, and the Sweeto just, got beat up. It was really a terrible thing. And what happened was Heiliger, just pretty much destroyed the Swede, and the whole thing sort of developed here. And then there was a lot of blows thrown. And my final memory is of the Swede with the nosebleed right here. This house right now, we're coming on number 907. There's not a lot I want to say about that. In 1966, his parents moved away from the house at which we began the program. They moved to this house up here on the corner, here at 11th and 33rd Street. And they used to keep rabbits in the backyard here. I don't know if they do anymore. You can see the canoe in the backyard, and yes, it does look to me like they have some rabbits back there. No, I don't see the Swede today. I don't know, he must be down in Texas or something. This is where Swede's toe fell off. Actually, it's in the gym right over here. They're holding an assembly program there. We tried to get inside for some real footage of where Swede's toe actually did fall off. And in fact, I'd hoped to show you exactly the spot where it came loose, but we can't go in there now. They're having an assembly program. We tried to get in the door, and the assistant principal, I think he may be the principal now, stopped us. So unfortunately, this is the best we're going to be able to do. Swede's toe fell off during the shuttle run. It was part of the President's fitness test. There's a number of different tests in the President's program. You had to do a 50-yard dash. You had to see how many pull-ups you could do. You had to, I think there was some kind of shot put kind of thing. How far could you throw something? Maybe it was a softball throw. In the shuttle run, you had 2 lines. They were separated by about 30 feet from about here to maybe where that pole is right over there. And there would be 2 erasers, and they would both be at the far line. And then on the start, you would run and grab the eraser on the other side and carry it back, and then better traction on that, a lot of people would take off their shoes. They would take off their shoes and their socks to run, get a little better traction for stopping and getting those erasers. Well, the Swede took off his shoes and his socks, and he ran down like this. Picking up the eraser down there, dropped the eraser, he went down again. Okay, now if you can come over here, I'll show you what happened. The Swede was reaching down for the second eraser like this, and if you imagine the Swede was a little bit overweight, and he had his right foot right here. I was standing down here, and what happened was he grabbed for the eraser, and his foot twisted just a little bit, and his toe fell off right here. If you could come over here and get a close-up shot of where the Swede's toe fell off, it would have been about right here. His toe just completely separated. This is Kearney High School. Swede and I entered Kearney High in 1978 would be, and in our junior year we had a chemistry class with Marion Morrow. People called Marion the largest M&M in the world because he was tremendously overweight, and he always wore shirts that were monogrammed MM. So, well, and we had an experiment one day in chemistry class where we had some sort of bromine compound. I don't remember, it was like bromine potassium or something. Anyway, we took some of that and then mixed it with hydrochloric acid, and the idea was to get off bromine as a gas. And Marion Morrow said, be careful with this, bromine is a noxious gas. Bromine is a noxious and poisonous gas. So we had to be very careful with this experiment, and the Swede didn't have much, he didn't take much care with this kind of thing. And, he mixed way too much of the two chemicals, and we had this little bromine factory going in the chemistry lab, and eventually there was so much of this brown noxious gas coming off of our test tubes that the Swede grabbed hold of the whole thing, and he held it out a window, and I was hoping. Okay, this would have been about the place where Swede's hand came out the window with a test tube full of bubbling bromine gas. I can't show you the window now because they've built this new addition, and the window just isn't here anymore. So if you imagine Swede's hand coming out from about right here, holding a test tube full of bubbling bromine. Randy Heiliger beat up the Swede the second time. He may have beaten him up many more times. I don't know. These are the two times I saw in high school. This is the Steve Rademacher's home. Actually, his parents live here now. Okay, I'm going to see if Steve is here. We're going to see if maybe he has something to say about the Swede. We don't know if he's here or not. Mr. Rademacher is home. Let's see. Hi, is Steve here?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Hey Jim, how you doing?
Got some questions to ask you about Jim Swanson. Just anything you might remember about him or anything. Can you describe him?
Can I describe him?
Yeah, this Rito.
He's kind of a crude fellow.
Was he?
Yeah.
In what way? Do you have any specific memories or anything at all? Go ahead, turn to
Just
the
when we were sophomores. This is mostly his idea, not mine. But
You would try to hit the other players with the
with
ball
tennis balls
during play.
and we keep track.
You would keep track of how many
Who had
times
more.
you could hit.
Yeah, he'd have his silly little G.I. Joe hat on.
He wore that all the time during
Right.
tennis matches.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And his iced tea. And we tried
His
to get
iced tea.
people-
Oh, he would bring iced tea.
Yeah.
To,
and he wore the long socks.
He wore long socks. Yeah. Is there anything else?
Nothing else.
Nothing else. Do you remember when he got married? Did you go to his wedding?
Yeah, I went to his wedding. I don't know
Uh-huh.
too much about that.
Uh-huh.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, he
He had what?
his pants were too long.
His pants were too long at his wedding.
That's what I remember.
Did he look very good at all?
No, he looked terrible.
Did he? Okay. All right. Has he ever really looked good in anything he's ever worn?
No, not especially.
I wouldn't. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's enough. This is a photo of the Swede. That's the Swede right there. That's me. That's Steve Rademacher. We just spoke to him. That was Coach Les Livingston. You can see that Swedo doesn't look very good in this photograph. Of course, he never.
A little anecdote. Swede and I used to play a lot of football with the neighborhood kids around here. This is Trinity Presbyterian. I don't know. It's Holy Cross Lutheran Church is what it's called. We used to play a little bit of football over there with all the neighbor kids, the Garonis, the Whitakers. Todd Garoni was a real wimp. Swede and I used to always try to hit him as hard as we could, stuff like that. But anyway, Swede and I usually got along pretty well on the football field. But this one instance, we got into a little bit of a disagreement, and I think we weren't playing Smear the Queer. We were playing 2-on-2 football, and Swede was on the other team, and I think I had like an old childhood friend like Bob Ward, and they were taking these guys on. And I don't know if I speared Swede or hit him late or what, but it really made him mad. And he started chasing me around and around. And I was kind of scared because Swede was he was bigger than I was, but I was faster, but he was bigger, and he was chasing me around and around. And finally he just stopped. He pulled something from his pocket, and I could hear a click. And it was a jackknife. And he says, he told me, "I'm gonna cut out your heart." So I sprinted home. I took off, sprinted home, and told my mom about it, and she kind of just said, "Well, that's just Jim Swanson. Don't worry about it. I don't think."
This is where Swede got married. What's the name of this church, Steve?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's some church. I think it's Bethany Lutheran or something like that. Anyway, he got married to a woman named Joellen Lavalier. She was from Lexington. I think he got married about 1 year out of high school.
She's a little French, too.
She was a little French. Well, yeah, see, that's the thing. I remember when Sweeto told me he was going to get married, I said, "Really, who are you going to marry?" And he said, "Well, Joe." And I said, I hadn't met her before, and she said she's from Holdridge. And I said, "Well, what's her last name?" He said, "Well, I'm marrying Joe." And I realized that he didn't want to tell me her last name because he couldn't pronounce it. Her last name was Lavalier, and well, that's how I pronounce it.
Oh yeah, hi. I got another one of Jim Swanson's story that I wanted to share with everybody. This happened on the tennis courts when we were sophomores in high school. At least I was a sophomore and he was a junior. And we were playing Let's Fight Right, and Jeff Luke in doubles, Swede and I. And that day we happened to be doing pretty well. I think it was right before the state tournament. And maybe it was like 3-3. And I think Jeff Luke fed Swede a lob, and Let's Fight Right, like he always used to do. He used to, whenever somebody have a smash, instead of backing up and paying the respect, to the opponent, he would charge the net. And that day, Sweeto happened to crush an overhead, and I think it hit right in the chest. Pretty good. So Let's Fight Right wasn't going to take that. He wasn't going to take that. No way. So he was just trying to get any kind of shot so he could nail Sweeto. And it was like the very next game. I think I was lobbing on a service return, and it was a pathetic lob. And Sweeto knew he was gonna get nailed, and he must have been halfway between the service line and the baseline, backing up. And I don't know how Wright hit him, but he swung just as hard as he could and hit Swede right in the chest. And I think Swede kind of toppled to the ground, kind of went down like this, kind of fell down. And the thing about it, I wasn't mad. Nobody else was mad except Swede. And I remember looking back, I think Coach Livingston was back there on the fence. He was laughing.
All right. I don't know. You've seen one picture of Sweeto, but I don't know. Maybe we could draw you another picture of him. Something like that, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember Gary Sinclair used to say he had bubble eyes.
He had bubble eyes.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Yeah, it's true. Sweeto had. Swedo, there were two things about Swedo. The first thing was that he couldn't see. He couldn't really see very well. He had those weird glasses. And the second thing was that he couldn't breathe. Because he was in some kind of oxygen tent, and he couldn't breathe through his nose at all. So he would always have to breathe through his mouth. Did you ever notice that?
Yeah.
He never would have his mouth closed. Yeah, Swede couldn't see and he couldn't breathe. And then, of course, the last thing we've mentioned already is that he always looked bad. Okay, so those were the three principal things. His favorite expression was,
You gonna show this tonight, or?
dice them. That was his favorite expression. Is that what you remember it as?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's what I thought too. It's about Swede that we haven't been able to cover today. I hope that we've at least been able to shed a little bit of light on his personality. It's too bad that we weren't able to interview him today, but well, sometimes it's just hard to get a hold of the Swede. So thanks for your attention, and have a good day. Well, Steve and I are just going to spend some more time now talking about the Swede.